Now is our third and last GOP challenger, our friend Peter Schiff, who's president of Europe Pacific Capital. Hello, Peter. You've heard the other two. Let me just ask you, what is your main thrust in this race? What is your biggest, most important single bullet message to become the next senator of Connecticut?
Well, for people to understand that the government is actually the source of our problems, that the stimulus is not the solution. The stimulus is why the economy is so messed up in the first place. And I want to go to Washington and put an end to that. We got to stop the spending and stop the money printing. And we have to let free market forces repair the damage done to this economy by government intervention. And believe me, the structural underpinnings for our economy are not sound. And I know you think there's a recovery going on. You have visions of Goldilocks again. The problem is she was never here in the first place. We were high on government stimulus, and now we're going to overdose on it. We have to allow the market to work. It's only by government stops spending and individuals stop spending that we can generate the savings so that business can invest. Well, we have to produce our way out of this recession.
I basically heard, I won't say identical, but similar things from Ms. McMahon and Mr. Simmons. So I guess my question is, how do you differ from them?
Well, I don't think when Linda McMahon talks about creating jobs, she talks about government, going to government to help create jobs. Government is destroying jobs. Jobs come from capital and they come from savings. And the policies of the government are undermined, that they're chasing capital away. Interest rates are at nothing. Who's going to save money if you can't get a return? And if you're putting more regulation on business, they're not going to be able to hire more people. They're not going to be able to expand.
What one specific legislative item would you lead with if you were elected senator next fall?
Well, we have to start repealing all the government spending. We're running these huge deficits. The government has to stop doing that. We have to stop spending money. We don't have it. All we're doing is taking it away from the private sector, and we are in the process of setting up an economic crisis much worse than the one we think we solved. The currency crisis is coming, Larry. I know you think King Dollar is potentially coming back, but it's not. We are on the verge of a currency crisis.
Actually,
and that dollar collapsed.
I don't think King Dollar's coming back. I'm pretty unhappy with King Dollar, as I just said top of this show and almost every night. I don't know where you got that impression, but I'm just trying to think. You're going to run a three-way primary, Peter. You got to distinguish yourself. You sound a lot like the other two. Maybe I would add, but more so, because your views are well known against government. What's going to, why should a Republican voter pull your lever?
Because I think they can trust that when I go to Washington, I'm going to act on my convictions. I mean, I was on your program from the very beginning when they were coming up with these bailouts. I was opposing TARP from day one. I wanted to let AIG fail. I wanted to let all the investment banks fail. I didn't want one taxpayer dollar being used to bail out a private company. I didn't want the government bailing out General Motors. I didn't want them bailing out Chrysler. I wanted the market to function. And I understand that in order to get a lasting recovery, we're going to have to go through some short-term pain. There's no easy way out of this mess. It's unfortunate that we got into this predicament.
You don't think we've had enough pain already?
Well, unfortunately, we haven't had enough pain in Washington. They're still spending money.
They're in a boom. The rest of the country has had a rough time.
But they're still encouraging more of the problem. All of the economic stimulus is designed to get Americans to spend more money we don't have, whether it's to buy more cars or to buy more houses. All the while, we continue to dissipate our savings. We're going deeper and deeper into debt, and we're encumbering the economy with more government regulation, more bureaucracy, and it's just making the problem worse.
All right. Peter, if you don't get the Republican nomination, will you run as a Libertarian?
No, I'm running as a Republican.
And you will not run on the Libertarian line?
That's not my plan.
That's not your plan, but you're not ruling it out?
No, I am ruling it out. I'm running as a Republican.
All right, fair enough. Peter Schiff, thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it.